beautiful day. I'm gonna go take a little walk. I'll let you know if I find it. While I'm walking along, I'm looking for tinder too. I just happened to spot this dead yucca plant. And this root was kind of sticking out exposed, but if you can see, it's super fibrous. Would be great stuff for a smudge pot. Actually, there were lots of bugs. But I tore some of that off there. The rest of it's kind of wet. That'll break down real good for some tinder. More tinder opportunity. Someone drove over this dead sagebrush often enough that they already pulverized a bunch of it. So I'll use that as the basis for my bird's nest probably. So I thought my site was pretty outstanding, but this spot is like a freaking fairgrounds. It's huge. You could have a reunion here. There's a giant fire pit right over there. Somebody brought their own toilet. More tinder opportunity. A little bit of old man's beard is growing here and there. I don't see too much of it around here, but I'm gonna gather up the little bits and use that too. It's plenty dry. And there's the trailhead going down into the canyon. If you wanted to hike the creek, they've done that for a while too. Some spots it gets a little hairy, you gotta wade, but gorgeous down there. And amazingly enough, someone got a camper in here. Can't believe it. This is the end of the line though. This is as far as this road goes in here. Kind of unfair of them to leave it here at the trailhead. Alright, I think there's a sign right around this side. It might be the Hope Springs trailhead. Of course, somebody shot it all to hell, so you can't see anything on it at all. But I'll check my topo here. Pretty sure it just goes up over this little saddle and there's a spring up there, but just wanted to show you the senselessness. And this is why they close areas. People are just jackasses. This is supposed to be a trailhead sign. And it looks like someone probably used it for firewood. Ridiculous. Alright, I'm gonna wander up this and see if I can find the spring. Okay, massive tinder opportunity here. This is crazy. This big old fir has a giant wound in the side of it. It's got all kinds of resin just sitting in there, especially this chunk. Look at that right there. So I'll take that and use some of that for fire starter too, but dang. I don't know what happened to this thing. It's still alive. No hope at Hope Spring. Apparently that spring only runs very early in the spring. It's crazy how dry it is out here just 100 yards away from the creek. Like semi-arid desert dry. But I walked up there, tried to find it. I didn't really, I found where it was, but it's dry, so. Just back at camp, enjoying it. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. Turned into just I think this is some of the best weather. It's not super hot. You can still wear your clothes, but it's sunny and just fantastic. So what I'm gonna do now is go look for some more firewood for tonight. So the tree that was over there is now firewood, ready to go for tonight. Boy, that's some pretty wood too, this juniper. Oh, that's gorgeous stuff. Makes me hate to cut it up, but it was dead and laying there, so campfire. And also, I put a little tarp over the camp table, just in case it starts raining and stuff. It's a nice little spot to be able to do some work. And I gotta tell you, Rhonda got this axe for a Christmas present from work. Got her initials stamped into some hand-tooled leather sheath with a saddle ring. Hickory handle. It's even got their logo branded into the handle. But I have got to tell you, this is a Wetterling's forest axe. Since we got it, I put some mink oil on this leather. Keep it nice and waterproof. This thing is a badass. Also put some linseed oil on the handle. Keep your axe handles nice and wet, boys and girls. They're thirsty, they dry out, they crack. They can take a lot of punishment if they're nice and oiled. Same for this steel, it's really hard. It is a high carbon steel, it will rust. But I also rub a little mink oil on the blade as well. Just because it's kind of waxy and stays on there for a while. When I get back to the house after this, I will treat her nicely again because that was a piece of cake. Just chopped right through like butter. And handy when you're camping, the bow saw. This is a cheapo bow saw with a fairly decent blade. If you're at camp, I highly recommend one of those. It's way easier than chopping through that log. You know, saw it into sections and then split it. If you're not at camp, this, I can't really read it anymore, but it's a Sandvik, I think. That's a foldable saw. Okay, this is the reverse fire lay. I love this fire lay. What you got on the bottom is your wrist thick to arm thick, and then you crisscross all the way up, going to you know, a couple fingers thick, and then thumb thick, and then pencil thick, and then all the way up to your kindling. Nice thing about it is everything burns and drops down in, and it creates an ember base that ignites everything else. And since it is starting to rain a little bit, not much at all, I'm gonna get this going, and then I'll start cooking some dinner. Alright, well, hopefully you can see this. I don't know about the angle of the camera, but it's supposed to be fisheye, so we'll see. That's that sagebrush that got pulverized on the road. Just shredding that apart a little bit more here. I'm going to try and make it into a little nesty nest. Some of that yucca root. Pretty fibrous stuff. Right down in there. Old man's beard. Mine was green, it'd look like that. I'll put some of that in there. I'm going to try and start this with some charcloth and a flint and steel strike. But I'm still kind of thinking I need a little bit more thin stuff in there, so I'm going to try and get some wood shavings here real quick and put those in there. And if I can, just some powder. Just using the back of the knife now to get some really fine scrapings. Maybe that'll be enough. Give it a shot. Now to see if I can get a spark on some charcloth. And then I'll transfer this. If I can blow that into flame, I'll transfer it to the fire lay. It's all ready to go. There's some of that good pitch scattered all over in there, so this thing should go up if I can get this started. There's a little Altoids tin, Just has one hole in the top. Works great for making charcloth. Any organic fiber you can pop in there, throw it in the fire, and just leave it till the fire's out, and then you open this up, you should have charcloth. So let's see. And then this is a steel striker and the flint. Well, I'm getting a spark, but I gotta get it to catch in the cloth.
I'll tear out the pieces. And that's going to pop off the top. There's a good sharp edge here.
Because I'm not... There's one. Just needs one little spark to catch it. Oh. We'll try it with the fire steel here. See if that works. Hold on. Going to try this slightly differently. Just going to get the spark on the charcloth. Doesn't need much to get it ember going. In fact, might save some of this. You can see just that little bit of a spark gets this going. And you just kind of sandwich her down in there. There we go. So I just ran over and threw it on top. It'll be interesting when that pitch catches what happens. That shredded sagebrush worked quite well, actually, I think. I'll have to try it with the flint and steel. See if I can get that working with a different setup. But there you go.